Ready? So we're working now with the Nourishing face ritual, and I'll just talk through the procedure up until the new techniques that we're about to do. If you've already trained in the grounding and the purifying face rituals, then a lot of this you already know. The procedure, we start by clearing the room, a foot ritual, working with the singing bowl, an inhalation with the pure essential oil over the face, stroking through the hair, connection, throat and third eye, waiting for a minute, and then crown and heart. Then we go into our cleansing ritual, and the cleanse is with the ultimate cream cleanser from the Nourishing range. We emulsify with some warm water, we remove with hot mitts, and then we use the grounding maca cleansing powder for a scrub. We can activate it with a bit of Nourishing rain face mist when we're mixing it, and then you can leave the scrub on the face, the neck and the chest for 5 minutes, unless you have a lot of eye makeup to remove, and do a little head massage. Then we go into the massage section of the facial, and we start with opening techniques. And these opening techniques are for 10 minutes, same as all of the face rituals. This is always the first massage we do. 10 techniques starting with an application of massage medium, and for this facial we're using the Nourishing Nurture Intense Face Oil. We're going to spritz with the Nourishing Rain face mist, and then work into the face with the massage techniques. And then we're going to do a new technique, and this is called Marma Point Therapy. We do this for 10 minutes. We have 19 points on the face, and we're going to work these 19 points in approximately 10 minutes. We're going to, on every point, starting from point number 1, we're going to pulse slowly, pulsing like a knocking on the door, 5 times. We're then going to circle slowly 5 times. And this pulsing and circling, as you are counting up to 5, you can count in your head at this speed. Om 1, I'm saying Om like the bija syllable for the crown for yoga. So Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, like at this speed, okay? We're going to work with our thumbs to do the movement. The pulsing is about feeling the energy of the point. The circling is about stimulating the energy or relaxing the energy. We go clockwise to stimulate, anti-clockwise to calm. So when the point feels blocked, whether that be cold or hard, we want to go clockwise or forwards. On the side of the face it's forwards, like a car wheels moving. If it feels normal, like a normal pulse, as you would feel in the neck, or if it feels spongy, just kind of bouncy, and if it feels the temperature of the body, this means it's healthy, it's normal, and then still we go clockwise to energize the point. If you feel it's stressed or agitated, and this might feel pulsing faster than a normal pulse, or buzzing, like vibrating at a higher rate. If you feel that, then you can go anti-clockwise or backwards. So anti-clockwise on the front of the face, this part of the face, or if you're working the side of the face, it's backwards. Okay, so actually in your head, you can think less anti-clockwise, clockwise, you can think more forwards, backwards. Okay, it's probably a bit more helpful to think forwards and backwards rather than anti-clockwise, clockwise, because it can be a bit confusing. Okay, so I'll go into the techniques now. If you are watching the video, just follow along with our diagram. In this current manual, it's on page 96, but if you have a smaller manual, it might be on a different page. But it will say at the top, Marma points, face, neck and chest. Okay, so we're going to begin with Adipati. And remember, Adipati, if you look to the apex of the ears, the top of the ear, and you draw a line with your fingers and then the thumbs meet at the top of the head. That's where Adipati is. So meet your thumbs on Adipati and we're going to pulse gently 5 times. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, circling, on 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. You'll see this more clearer as I'm working on the front of the face, but the circling is more of an intention of circling. It's less about a big circle, more about like the idea of a circle. So then we move to liver 1, which is point 2 on your diagram. You can do a reinforced thumb over the liver 1 point, which is on the third eye. And we start pulsing on 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Slowly start circling. On 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The next point is liver 2. Liver 2 is in the center of the eyebrows. And we're pulsing. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, and circling. You can see I'm going clockwise with the circling. Try and make sure your thumbs are going at the same speed, and you can just rest the rest of your fingers somewhere appropriate on the face. Nothing too heavy, but you don't need to have your hands floating because then you might shake. Okay, so just rest the hands somewhere respectful on the side of the face. Point 4 is the spleen point, corners of the eye. Find the point with your thumbs and pulsing on 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, and circling. This time I'm going forwards. You can see both thumbs are going towards the foot, forwards. The 5th point is called lung 1. It's on the temple, in line with the top of the ear, at the hairline. Pressing in on 1, on 2. Try and ensure that your thumbs are pulsing and circling at the same timing and the same speed on both sides of the face. And 5, and then circling forwards for 5. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. The next point is the adrenal point, point number 6. Now, try and do this with your thumbs. If your hands shake, you've got too long nails, or it's just too uncomfortable, working like this, coming into the point with the thumbs like this, then it's perfectly okay to use the middle or the ring finger here. Sometimes if you've got big hands, not that that'd be much of a problem here, but it can be quite hard to get into these points. So usually people switch to their fingers just for adrenals and pancreas. It's easy to fit your finger into these points rather than the thumb. So I'm pulsing, nice and slow. Feeling the state of the mama point. This mama point feels very active, probably a little bit stressed. So I'm going to go backwards on this one, like the wheels of a car reversing. And 3, and 4, and 5. If you feel a mama point that feels quite unbalanced or very aggravated or very blocked, you can, 10 minutes is quite a long time to do all of these in, so you can spend a bit longer on that point. So for instance, for this point, I'd probably spend a bit longer pulsing and circling than just up to 5. The next point is the pancreas mama point, which is on the bridge of the nose. Make sure you're not blocking the nose. Okay, make sure it's on top of the bone. And I'm pulsing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Circling 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Moving now down to the heart. I'm going to switch back to my thumbs here because I feel very comfortable like this. Pulsing 1. Make sure with the heart, again, you're not closing the nostrils. Okay, because the guest should be quite relaxed at this point. And if suddenly they feel like they can't breathe, that will give them a real shock. Circling. Moving out now to the large intestine point, and this is in the middle of the eye, underneath the cheekbone. Pulsing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Coming out to the side. Sorry, circling. Just got distracted. Circling for 5. 4 and 5. Now coming out to the digestion point, which is usually in the middle of the ear. It's just below the cheekbone. You'll feel a dip in the face, just below the cheekbone. And this is usually in the middle of the ear, depending on where their ear is on their face. So pulsing inwards for 2, for 3, for 4, and 5, and then circling forwards for 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 5. Moving now to point 11, which is called lung 2, and this is on the TMJ point. It's on the jawbone. Okay, pulsing in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, circling for 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5. The next point is on the top lip. This point is called the stomach mama point. So for this point, we can just relax the hand to the side of the face. We're not using it. The fingertips can rest below the chin for support, and then we pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, circling 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The next point is called the duodenum point. It's at the corners of the mouth. Pulsing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel a lot of activity in this point, more so than a pulse. Maybe a little bit stressed, so I'm going to go backwards on this one. Maybe she just ate her lunch. Circling back. The next point, point 14, is on the lower chin, or in the middle of the chin actually, in the dip, this point here. Again, you can just relax your other hand to the side and pulsing for 2, 3, 4, and 5, and circling. Now 15 goes onto the neck. We've got 3 neck mama points and then 2 on the chest. The 3 neck mama points are at the top of the neck. We worked this point a lot in lymphatic work, so we're calling this neck 1. This actually relates to the thyroid. Then we've got neck 2, which is in the centre of the neck, working on this diagonal line coming forward to the clavicle. And this relates to the parathyroid. And then neck 3, which is in the clavicle. We've done lots of work on this point. Okay, and then we have the next point is the axilla point, and then we finish with the Hridaya point. So with the thumbs, I'm coming to the top of the neck, pulsing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, circling for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, moving to the middle of the neck, point 16, pulsing in. Circling in. Coming down to the bottom of the neck, pulsing into the clavicle. circling into the clavicle. Coming to the axilla, pulsing into axilla. Circling into axilla. Finishing off with the Hridaya point. This is a large mama point. You can do this with your fingertips. So I'm on this point. Okay, you can do it underneath the towel. Pulsing for 1, 2, for the camera I'll just do this. 3, 4, and 5. And then circling for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can finish just by leaving your hand on the Hridaya in a connection. So after you've done your mama points with the with the thumbs, you're then going to poultice all of the mama points for 10 minutes. You poultice all the 19 points on the face, neck and chest, pulsing and circling over each point. You can use 2 sets of small poultices, so that's 4 poultices in total. And you change them when the first set gets cold or colder. Okay, so how about for the video, I just demonstrate the first few of the mama points, just so you can see the technique, because it's the same throughout all of the points. So let me just get the poultice, or 2. You need 2 of your small poultices. We're going to start on Adipati, and very simply we're just pulsing and circling. Liver 1, I'm pulsing. Remember what I'm circling. Remember what these pulses do for mama points. They're full of Himalayan salt and dried herbs. Energy points soak up the negative ions. They're very, very good for re-energizing the body, helping with mood, helping with blood pressure, helping with stress levels, helping for grounding. You know, the salt isn't really absorbing into the body here. It's not like a body scrub. But the ions, however, that are released when the salt is heated up, they come through the poultice and into the body. Remember to use poultice covers on these. For the video we don't have poultice covers, but ensure that you have clean poultices for the face and using the covers, which are disposable each time. So as you can see, I'm just pulsing over each point and circling over each point. Working through all 19 points. So I'll just show you the points now. So then you'd work on the spleen, then you'd work on lung 1, then you'd work on the adrenals, and you can just do this by tucking them in slightly. Then you'd work on the pancreas, then you'd work on the heart, then the large intestine, the digestion, lung 2, and stomach, duodenum, prostate and womb, neck 1, neck 2, neck 3, axilla, and Hridaya. All of the points we would circle, pulse, wrong way around, pulse, and circle. If you've already learnt the lymphatic drainage, it's the opposite way around, because for lymphatic drainage, we circle to help open up the point and then pulse to get the lymph moving so we can then drain it. With the mama points, we pulse first to help awaken or communicate with the energy point, and then we circle to help stimulate the energy. So remember, we're switching our techniques in lymphatic and mama point therapy.